This one hurts. Vin Diesel was right. What's going on, people? I'm Alex Thorn, and I'm just a rocker who likes to watch movies in his downtime with the bandana on. And this time, I went to the theaters with my son to watch Fast X. Because of the addition of Jason Momoa, I figured I'll give it a shot. Now, I want to qualify something. I have not seen a Jason Momoa movie since he did Conan. And I know you might come out and say something like, well, he did Aquaman. What about Aquaman? I'm not into superhero movies like that. I'll go if somebody I'm with really wants to see something like that, but leave it up to me and I'll never watch a superhero movie again. But I'm really taken aback, and we'll get why with this movie. And it's a big reason why this movie is going to get the rating it does at the end of this video. Stay tuned. I guess in this one we're catching up with Vin Diesel's character Toretto and Letty as they try to raise a family and try to be somewhat normal. Now, obviously that's not something that can happen for this family. Toretto is really starting to become a more normal person where he fears losing Letty again, because everybody is at some point in this series presumed dead and isn't. And he's also thinking a lot about Paul Walker's character, Brian, who I thought was going to come back in this movie some way, somehow, because this movie can't leave anybody go away. They just constantly have to grow the family, right? And I think that's addressed really well in this film later on by one of the characters, that Vin just can't let people go and is entirely too trusting in bringing people into this so-called family. And the movie really takes a turn rather quickly with bringing Cypher back, played by Charlize Theron, and somebody's hunting her. And as she said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the person that's hunting her is Jason Momoa's character, named Dante, and he loves to call himself the devil. And here's the thing, man. This movie loves to reach back to whichever Fast and Furious movie it was where they did the bank heist and had the vault dragging through the street, and then that guy died. Who was the head of that thing, right? And then, well, his son is Jason Momoa, and he's in this. And here's the thing, Jason looks cool. We all know that Jason Momoa looks cool. I start to wonder why Jason Momoa was chosen to be in this movie to act the way he was, because Jason Momoa's Dante character is essentially a Batman villain in this movie. He's a mixture of the Riddler and the Joker, all mixed into a huge frame, and it doesn't make sense to me. Visually, it just did not make sense. With this type of story, it does not make sense, in my opinion. But we'll round back to that in a minute. There's a lot going on here. There's so many chase scenes and action scenes. And of course, it's going to be unbelievable, right? Because that's the territory they've gone into since part 4 or 5, something like that, since the vault thing. It's a feast for the eyes. Now, here's the deal. With me saying it like this, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying, in memory of the movie, it's a lot. And there was at least 3 times during this movie, my son leaned over to me and said, there's a lot happening. It's memorable for the wrong reasons. There's 2 other kind of issues with this movie. And it's not the over-the-top action scenes. They're over-the-top for a reason. That's where this is. That's fine. You go there expecting that now. They still threw in a racing scene. Imagine that in a Fast and the Furious movie. Just a racing scene. It's very short, but they threw it in there. And they threw it in there to introduce a new character named Isabel. And I don't know who this person is, but she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. And of course, she's related to one of the other people they used to work with. I believe this is the chick that used to work with Rock in 4, 5, and 6. I think because she was a police officer. So she's related to her, and now she owes her life to Dominic Toretto, and she's another addition to the family. What I was getting to is, of course, the family is ever expanding, but the other two issues with this movie are it needs to stop focusing on Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel's not the most compelling character, and you can dress this movie with all the other characters all you want. It's a very tired sentiment in the movie. Family, 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 family. Because Dante is the son of the guy they killed in that movie. Whichever Fast and Furious it was with the vault, and now Dante is after Dominic's son. I have nothing against the kid. He did a great job, but I don't care. I don't care because Dominic Toretto and these tired ass characters from this series don't really do it for me on screen anymore. I don't want to see Jason Statham, who comes back in this movie. He's just a stone-faced action guy who has a very dry delivery with everything he says. His action scenes are very fast and they're hard to digest, and he just gives you nothing. But like I said, 3 issues really. Jason Momoa, Vin Diesel being a tired character, and third, for me, John Cena. John Cena, when he's introduced in this movie, looks like a powerhouse, looks great, looks amazing. I was digging him. But then very, very quickly, John Cena becomes John Cena. And as corny as he came off on WWE TV most times, right? Just a very white meat babyface type of character in wrestling is what he becomes in this movie. Now, I don't know how he was as a bad guy in Part 9, but whatever he's doing now, for me, doesn't work. I don't want to see a jolly John Cena. He's too big for that. He looks like a Terminator. Why? I get that's who he is, but that doesn't mean that's who he has to play, if that makes sense. So 3 characters that are in this movie, and thankfully it's not dominated by John Cena, but it is dominated by Jason Momoa and Vin Diesel, and they're 2 of the biggest issues with this movie. With all that being said, I want to get to the bandana rating for this movie. On the bandana system, Fast X is going to get 2 bandanas out of 5 for me. And the reason it's going to get the 2 bandanas that it does is, for one, the movie is colored amazingly. I don't know what, they used. I don't know if it was Da Vinci or what, but whoever colored this movie, it looks incredible. The skin tones, everything looks perfectly defined, like HDR perfection. So it looks incredible. Secondly, is because you do tend to lose yourself in the action scene. So it does a good job of making you say, my God, this is crazy. But then within a minute or 2 later, you're like in it with it. So it does a good job at capturing you that way. But the story, the clash of characters with the people that are playing it, the family aspect of this movie just being tired. My favorite entry in this series is Part 3, because it has nothing to do with the majority of the family. Especially Vin Diesel shows up in the final scene of the movie. All it had to do with from the original is Han, and Han is so cool and Han is so laid back that he allowed for the rest of the cast in Part 3 to flourish. That's not what happens here. Toretto, Vin Diesel, is very dominating over this entire movie, and he's not a versatile actor enough. I don't care how many people around him. He is too much in the movie. So for me, that's why it gets a 2 bandanas out of 5. For the action scenes that it grabs you with, and the coloring, the look of the movie. But let me know, are you a Fast and Furious fan? Are you an avid fan? Do you hate it? Did you drop off? Let me know. Did you watch this in the movie theaters, or did you watch it on video on demand? Because this thing came out to video fast. Real fast it came out to streaming. I've heard that it was a flop. And I've heard that Vin Diesel, I didn't read any of the articles, but I read the blurbs that Vin Diesel blames Jason Momoa for the failure of the movie. I'd have to agree with Vin. Jason was a huge problem in this movie. So let me know down below. Let's talk about it. Are there too many crashes? Are there too many entries? Or should there be some more? Let me know. Guys, I'm Alex Thorn, and you know what I got to do. I got to rock out so that then I can watch some more movies.